Okay, so I have already processed all the flowers for this arrangement. We've got our nice floral tape grid on top of the vase, and I've got water and preservative in it. I've already treated the hydrangeas with Crown and Glory, and if you haven't seen that video yet, I suggest it. I think it's called DIY hydrangea flower arrangements, and that shows you how to care for the hydrangeas, how to make them last, how to save them if they're wilting. But I didn't want to repeat myself, so I've already done all that good stuff. And so now we're just going to get to arranging this beautiful flower arrangement. Again, one tip I will repeat is, see these nodes here on hydrangeas, you have to cut above the node. So since I'm using quite a few, we're going to go around the sides first, keep the stems a little short. Okay. Then I'll go in with some more. I'm not putting any greenery in here first because you won't end up seeing it anyway. You don't want to waste the space. Okay, wasn't sure. I need one more. There he is. All right, now spinning as we go. The next thing I'm going to do are, I just have a couple of these really beautiful orange spray roses. There's 4 stems. That looks like a good one. This one I'm going to have to cut this little guy off of. Okay. And we're just going to tuck these in between. And then spin. Pops of orange peeking out, very pretty. The real beauty star of this whole arrangement is going to be the ranunculus. And I'm actually making this a day ahead because I want early morning delivery, but also because I want the ranunculus to open up a little. Whenever I get them, they're really super fresh, so you can see how tight they are, which is great because it means they last longer. But anyway, all right, next we go to the Hypericum berry because they take up the most surface space, and you want this to be kind of an even arrangement. Taking the extra leaves off the stem and then just inserting them at an angle as I spin. This arrangement's super easy to make, and it's just really pretty. It's one of my most popular on our online store. Of course, people call me all the time with their phone orders, and we just could do designer's choice, whatever you'd like, but it's nice to have like an actual visual of what you're getting when you're shopping online. So I know a lot of people prefer that. Okay, a couple more. Oops. And it's okay to stick them in between the blooms. Like within the same bloom. You just have to be careful. Okay, that's good. Very pretty. See how fast this is going? Okay, now we're going to use some trick. I probably have more out that I need. This is in the dianthus group. It lasts a really long time. It's super cool. It's kind of got a Dr. Seuss touch to it almost. But I like it because it's architectural, it's modern. It's got a nice shape to it. Green trick balls is what they're called. Again, in the dianthus family. If you're peeking, don't forget your sides. You always want some details on the sides. Okay, maybe one more right here. Then, see, I'm putting it right in the middle of that bloom. Pretty. Now we get to the super fun part. Beautiful ranunculus. So I'm going to take out maybe half at a time because I don't want to break them. And ranunculus generally don't come too tall, so they're best for the shorter centerpiece type of arrangements. Of course, they're very popular for wedding bouquets and bridesmaids bouquets and boutonnieres. Sometimes I see them tall and you can make some really big arrangements, but most often they're only about a foot long stem, so you don't need to cut too much. Having said that, you do want a fresh cut, so just cut just a bit at the end. I'm gonna do a couple before I spin it. And a lot of times their stems are kind of bent, so you just have to sort of work with that angle. See, that one's kind of opening. It's beautiful. Okay. And the hydrangeas are pretty hardy. A lot of times when I'm doing my classes live in person, people always say, "Oh, you touch your flowers so much. I thought you weren't supposed to touch them." They're totally fine. They love it. It's all good. You're not gonna bruise them. Notice I'm picking the little leaves off. You don't want leaves under the water because then they'll decompose and muddy up the water, and your flowers will expire faster. So you definitely want to make sure any flower arrangement that you refresh the water often. And you can always tell just by how clear the water is or what the water level is. If it gets too low, obviously you want to refill it. If it gets too dirty, you want to just replace it. Okay. I think this was it was a total of 20 of the ranunculus, not including the little guys. Some of them will bloom, some of them won't. So the rest of these guys, again, this particular arrangement is a premium. So I have the standard, the deluxe, and the premium. So this guy's getting about triple what the standard would be. It's an anniversary, apparently, according to the card message, which I'll never tell the messages, but it's kind of neat to make a living reading love notes from people. Some of them are nuts too, but very touching. All right, see how we're starting to take shape? Spinning around, see if there's any holes. And I like how the ranunculus and the spray roses have different textures and a slightly different hue of the orange. All right, just a couple more and then we're done. And then of course after this I'm going to spray it again with the Crown and Glory. Again, if you're not familiar with that, please go look at my DIY hydrangea bouquets. And that will give you that tip plus a bunch more on how to keep your hydrangeas fresh. It's just so pretty. Look at all that. And in a day or two, these guys will be bigger and very petally. And in fact, what I'll probably do, because this is for tomorrow, take it out of the cooler and show you before I deliver it, or have it delivered, how it actually has opened up a little bit overnight. So. All right, everybody. They're ready for the anniversary party. Thanks for joining me. See you soon.